Hello my crafty friends, this is Monica from Allsewpetite. Welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial I will walk you through how to make detachable pockets, ring holders and earring holders so you can customize your Agness jewellery pouch. Check out my previous videos to learn how to make small and large Agness jewellery pouches. You can find the links to the pattern and video tutorials in the description box below. Now grab your supplies and let's get started. Cut 12 detachable pockets from clear vinyl. This will make 2 single pockets and 2 double pockets. You'll need to cut 4 earring holders from non-fraying fabric, 8 snap connectors from non-fraying fabric, 2 ring holders from external fabric, 12 pocket trims Hedge 3 from external fabric. Again, you can use single fold bias binding for that. And 8 pocket connectors from external fabric. If you are making only single pouch, or you for example want to make extra ring connector and let's say you don't want to make all the detachable pockets, the number of pieces that you will need to cut will be different, so keep that in mind. Now we are going to make our earring holders. So you have 4 pieces to make 2 separate holders. So you need to place 2 pieces wrong sides together, but what I like to do is to apply some glue on the back of the fabric. Avoid going around the edges because we're going to stitch there, so I typically just apply it at the center. Then take the other piece and place it on top with wrong sides together and line up the edges. Then let the glue dry. And repeat that for the other 2 pieces. But I'm going to show you an alternative method that some of my pattern testers used. So you will have 2 scraps of fabric and you will need to apply some glue to the back of one of those pieces in exactly the same way. Then place them wrong sides together. Press it so the glue sticks to the fabric. Then what you need to do is to take your pattern piece and draw the outline of your earring holder. So I'm going to take my pen and simply draw around the pattern piece. Here we go, just like that. If you are using the first method, you're going to stitch around the entire piece about 2 millimeters from the edge of the fabric. But if you are using the second method, you're going to stitch 2 millimeters from the line that you just drawn. If you use the second method, you can take your scissors, then you can simply cut along the outline. Next, you're going to take your pattern piece, place it on top, because we need to mark the snap placement markings and also the placement of the holes. So you need to line it up and then simply transfer all those points to your fabric. Here we go. I'm going to do that in a second on the other one. But first, take your hole puncher and punch a hole through every single dot. Here we go, just like that. Then I'm going to repeat that on the other piece. Then you're going to install the female part of the snap on both sides of your earring holders. Next, we're going to make 2 ring holders. So take one of your ring holder pieces and fold it in half with the right sides together along the long edge. You want to line it up and clip it in place. Repeat that on the other piece. Here we go. Then we're going to take this to the machine and we're going to sew the seam using 5mm seam allowance. Once you have that stitched, then you can open the seam allowance and press it flat, or press the seam allowance to either direction. It's really up to you. I'm just going to finger press it because I find it much easier. And we're going to turn our ring holders right side out. So I like to use a large safety pin for that, and simply put it through and turn it right side out. Then you're going to take your fiber fill and you're going to fill your ring holders with that fiber fill or pillow stuffing or whatever you have. You can even use some scraps of fabric if you don't have fiber fill on hand. I found it's easier for me to use a bobbin to do that. You can use chopsticks or pencil, whatever other tools you have on hand, and just push it inside. Once you have both of your ring holders stuffed, then you're going to take this to the machine and we're going to baste the ends about 5mm from the edge. Next, you're going to take your snap connectors. So I'm going to take 2 of them. Take some glue and apply it to the back of the fabric, just somewhere in the center. Avoid applying it at the very edges so you don't gunk your needle. Then you're going to take your ring holder and we're going to overlap it. So overlap the edge by 1 centimeter. So I'm going to use my grid to place it on top. So you're going to overlap it by 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. I'm just going to press it with my fingers so the glue sticks to the fabric. Then I'm going to apply just a little bit of glue on the back here, just inside that seam allowance. Take the second piece and place it on top. So the wrong sides are facing each other. You're going to line up the edge and again just hold it till the glue dry. We're going to repeat that on the other side now. Next, we're going to take this to the machine and we're going to stitch all around about 2mm from the edge. An alternative method is to take 2 of those pieces, place them wrong sides together, line all edges, and I'm going to clip it just around the straight edge to hold it in place. Then you're going to take this to the machine and stitch around that curved edge about 2mm from the edge. So you are not stitching through the straight edge, you're only stitching around the curve. If you find it easier, again, you can use the same method as we did previously on the earring holder. So take the snap connector pattern piece, draw the outline, just like that. Then you would place those 2 pieces wrong sides together, clip them. So they don't shift. You don't want to use any glue or double-sided tape here. And then you would take this to the machine and stitch 2 millimeters from the line around the curve. Again, don't stitch over the straight line. So this is how it looks like when you use different methods. So I'm going to trim the excess here because I didn't line them up properly, but that's fine. And if you use this method, you can cut it out along the outline. So to add them now, you would have to measure 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch on your ring holder, and I would mark it on your fabric because you won't really see how far you went. It might be a little bit difficult, so I found this one is best to just measure and mark. So use a pen that you can erase. Then you're going to open the snap connector, and you basically now need to place the ends inside. So this method may take a little bit more time. So you want to just basically try to maneuver the fabric inside the connector. So I'm going to just try to use my awol to push it in. Alright, and I will do that on the other side as well. Then you can take this to the machine again and simply stitch along those 2 straight edges. Next, you're going to take your snap connector pattern piece, place it on top and mark the snap placement. Alright, then you can take your hole puncher and punch a hole through the fabric. Next, we're going to install the female part of the snap on both sides of our ring holders. Now we're going to work on our detachable pockets. So I have my pocket trims and pocket connectors ready. So you're going to repeat the steps for both pieces. You need to basically fold the edges, the longer edges, towards the center. Just like that. So if you want, you can draw a line in the center, otherwise you can just eyeball it and press it with an iron. Repeat that on the other side. You need to repeat that on the remaining pocket trims. However, if you are using single fold bias binding instead, then skip this step. Then you're going to take your pocket connectors. I have the Decoville light fused to 4 pieces, as you can see. And the remaining 4 are just fused with woven interfacing. So what you're going to do is exactly the same thing. You're going to fold those longer edges towards the center. I'm going to use the edge of the Decoville light to make my creases and just press it with an iron. And then we're going to do exactly the same thing on the remaining pieces. When making our detachable pockets, we are going to pair 2 pieces, one with stabilizer and one without stabilizer, but you want to make sure that both pieces are exactly the same width once they are pressed. So you may find it a little bit easier to simply place the one that you pressed first with the stabilizer on top and draw a lines where you need to press the one without the stabilizer. This way you ensure that the width of that piece is exactly the same, and then you can just follow those lines to press your fabric. So when I place both of them on top of each other, they are exactly the same width. Take your zipper and you're going to cut it to the same width as the pocket. However, if you want, you can always cut it a little bit longer, and then we're going to trim it down. So I'm going to just cut it slightly longer to show you when you need to trim it down. So you need 6 of them. So I'm going to cut 6 pieces. To stop your zipper from fraying, use a lighter just to burn the edges. Here we go. Then you're going to take double-sided tape and apply it at the edge of your zipper. So just at the bottom edge of your zipper. Here we go. Then you're going to take your detachable pocket. You're going to peel the plastic cover from your zipper, and we're going to place the pocket piece on top, and we're going to overlap the edge of our clear vinyl by 5 millimeters on top of our zipper. I'm gonna press it with the fingers so the double-sided tape sticks. So just like that. So as you can see, here is the edge of my vinyl, and here is the edge of my zipper, so it overlaps by 5 millimeters. Then you're going to take your pocket trim. You can apply double-sided tape on the back of the trim. Take another one, repeat the step. When you are ready, peel the plastic cover. And then we're going to center the pocket trim along the edge of the zipper. So you want to make sure you cover the edge of your vinyl and the edge of your zipper. So I'm going to take my time, making sure I cover the edges. And you want to be precise, and you want to make sure your pocket trim is nice and even throughout. Then we're going to line up the second piece on the back of our zipper. So you want to use the first pocket trim as a reference and align the folded edges. So this piece you're going to place on top like this, and making sure we align those lower edges, we're going to stick the pocket trim on top. Again, be very precise, because next step is to take this to the machine and top stitch along both folded edges. So as long as your pocket trims are the same width and you align them properly, you should be able to catch both of those pieces without any problem. Here we go, just like that. Then you're going to repeat those steps to make another 5 pockets. So you're going to have 6 pieces just like that. Once you are ready, you can add zipper pulls to your zippers. So decide which way you want the zipper to open, from left to right or right to left. I like my zippers to open from left to right, so this is what I've done. And to ensure that the zipper open in the same direction on the double detachable pocket, which will look like this, you need to make sure you do 2 zippers in opposite directions. So as you can see here, this one goes from left to right, and this one goes from right to left. So once they are installed and the pocket is finished, it will look like this. Both of the zippers will run in the same direction. Next, you're going to take another pocket piece without any zipper, and we're going to line it up behind. So you can flip your zipper pocket. You're going to line up this piece on top. You need to line up the top edge with the edge of your zipper and the side edges. Don't worry about the bottom. The bottom will not be aligned. We will trim it down later on. So let's align those edges, and then you can clip them in place. Then we're going to take this to the machine and we're going to baste the pocket in place around all sides, about 2 millimeters from the edge. And repeat that for the remaining pocket pieces. Once you have all your pockets prepared, then you're going to trim it down. So you're going to trim the bottom edge, and if you need to trim your zipper, then trim the edges of your zipper as well. Now I'm going to show you how to finish off the single detachable pocket. So grab one of your pocket pieces and two of your pocket connectors. Again, remember, one is with a stabilizer, the other one is without. And you're going to apply double-sided tape along each folded edge. Just keep it away from the folded edge so you don't have to stitch it through the double-sided tape. Then you're going to take the piece with the stabilizer and remove the plastic cover just around the bottom edge. Here you go. Then we're going to flip it over like this and place it on top of the zipper. So you're going to line it up along the zipper. You want to keep the same distance so it is nice and symmetrical. So I would say about 5 to 7 millimeters. And press it with your fingers so the double-sided tape sticks to your zipper. Then we're going to flip it over. We can remove the other plastic cover. Next, you're going to take the other piece, again, remove the plastic cover. And we are going to align the top folded edge with the edge of our first connector. So you want to make sure they are perfectly aligned to ensure we can stitch them in place in a second. So I'm just going to take my time, line it up properly. Press it with your fingers. So it looks like this. So you're basically sandwiching the zipper between those two pieces. Then when you are ready, you're going to take this to the machine and we're going to top stitch along both sides. Here we go, this is how it looks like. Then you're going to repeat that for the second single pocket. Now I'm going to show you how to do the double pocket. So you're going to take two of your pockets. Again, remember, the zipper needs to go in opposite direction. And you're going to take your pocket connectors. Again, peel off the plastic cover. Then again, you're going to place the pocket connector on top of your zipper. Make sure it is nice and even throughout. Then you're going to take your second connector. Again, remove the plastic cover along one edge. Place it on the back of your pocket. Again, make sure you align those edges. So it's just easier to do it this way. When you are happy with the placement and you are sure that the edges are lined up, then you can remove the plastic cover on the remaining two sides. Then take your other pocket and we're going to sandwich the zipper between those two pieces. So you're going to basically do exactly the same on the other side. Just like that. Again, press it with your fingers so it sticks to the zipper on both sides. And now we're going to take this to the machine and we're going to top stitch along both sides. Now you're going to finish the edges with bias binding. So this is how it looks like when the binding is already attached. So I have a separate video tutorial showing you how to sew single fold bias binding around the corners, so you can have a nice and neat corners like this. So follow the steps in that tutorial if you need help. Otherwise, you're going to unfold one edge of your bias binding, line it up with the edge of your pocket, and then clip it in place and sew in place. When you are making the single pocket, remember to leave a little tail, about 1 centimeter to 1.5 centimeter is good. When you are making the double pocket, then leave long tails, so then you can join those two pieces together. Again, I have a separate video tutorial showing you different methods of how to do it. So pick whichever method is good for you. Next, you're going to fold the binding around the raw edges. So to do that, you'll need to flip the binding towards the other side of the pocket. Then when you are making the single pocket, fold those short tails onto itself, just like that. So wrong sides are facing each other. And then you will be able to fold the binding in half, clip it in place, and then you're going to sew all around. So it looks like this. And you will repeat the same steps for the double pocket. So first you will have to join those ends together, finish the seam, trim it down, and then again you will flip the bias binding, make those corners look nice and neat, and then you're going to fold it in half, covering the raw edge, and then stitch all around. The last part is to install the female part of the snap to our pocket connectors. So you should have the snap placement marked already. So simply take your hole puncher, punch a hole for the fabric, and you're going to install the female part of the snap. And then repeat that on all the remaining pockets. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for similar content. See you next time. Stay crafty, friends.